All right, everybody. It's Tuesday, December 18th. Tuesdays are like the marathon training day in my world. So funny that this is, but I like ending it with this one because I feel like, this is all the A-listers that come onto this call. So this is exciting. So we did not have our call last week because we were all working on the booking blitz. So does anyone want to share what worked for them on the booking blitz, what you're excited about, how your calendar is looking? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I definitely still have people that are responding back to me and still are, as I'm circling back again and just making sure that they got my message or whatever, or, oh, I forgot to pick my date, I got busy. Then I'm still getting responses. Even today I got another booking
Awesome.
for January. So I'm just continuing to trek along and try to fill all those spaces up.
And the kicker is that, we probably have like maybe 2 or 3 days that we can probably still get people. And then it's going to be a little bit of a wait before we can circle back. But even the week that the kids are home from school and after Christmas is over, there's going to be people that answer then. Or it's perfectly logical to check back at that point and be like, hey, just wanted to give you an update. These are the dates I still have. Because you have had a bunch of dates get taken and a bunch of the stuff you offered them in the first round is not still going to be there at that point. So that'll be good follow-up because it's perfectly reasonable to follow up with an update of what's available. Anyone else want to share?
I will share that I have not had time to listen to every video, and I don't feel like I've really been keeping up with the booking blitz. I've been offering the show, and I got 2 bookings while I was out doing shows this week. But I haven't participated in the blitz, so I'm feeling like I'm a little bit behind right now. Is there anything you can suggest that I do to catch up?
Well, a booking blitz is mainly for filling in when your calendar is not where you want it to be. So when you have shows happening the day of the booking blitz, obviously it's perfectly reasonable to not be on the booking blitz because you're doing a show. So never feel bad that you missed it because you were working, The main thing a booking blitz does is try to correct the situation of those not working. So you certainly can't go wrong with picking, scroll the page and close your eyes and pick. It's just some, assorted ideas to help you do some reach outs to fill in the holes of your January calendar. But having said that, would any of you like to share, because I'm quite sure Phyllis is not the only one who didn't see every training video on there. So does anyone have a favorite or an idea that stuck out or worked best for them as you were reaching out?
I liked, I forget, what was her name that did the headband?
Kathy Mathenson's.
Kathy, yes. So Kathy did a really fun, just lighthearted one, but at the same time so appropriate that when you're in your booking mindset, be all in. And if that means she had a really cute, this. She had a really cute headband on, and that was her booking headband. She was all in, she was training, and that was her go-to. Or Beth made a joke that she was gonna wear her booking tiara, or I love Belinda's hat. I'll get a Mercedes hat and have your booking Mercedes hat on, but just a way that you're in that mindset of this is my time. I'm here to work, and I've got my booking hat on or headband on, and you're focused, and you've got that laser rhinoceros focus.
It's so true, because honestly, half the time it doesn't even matter as much what you're saying as much as Are you super focused? Are you expecting a yes? You know, because when you're like, I have no shows, and then like that's what's out there, you're never getting yeses. The minute that you decide you're getting yeses, somehow they come to you. You know, Mary Chiarella is always very funny with this, where she'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to have to start telling people I'm going out of business sale, so they're going to have to book. And she always jokes about that she's having a going out of business sale, so they better get on her calendar now. And of course, she gets like 22,000 bookings when this happens, because of course she knows she's not going out of business. It's just a funny thing that she says. And then all of a sudden she gets like 1 million shows booked. So I know that when I'm going to sit down and do reach outs, I used to, I don't anymore because it was a bad habit, but I would like get a box of Cheez-Its. And I would get like my pile of contacts and my box of Cheez-Its, and I would send that photo to someone else who did the same thing, and they'd be like, oh my God, I'll get my Cheez-Its and we'll do that today. I'll do it today too. So that meant like it was booking time. But I have the blue folder of the booking contacts and my customer care, and when I slap those down, I mean business too. I definitely appreciated the idea of Mary Grace's original idea of pick the first date you want to work and offer $1,000 worth of jewelry on that day. Now, of course, I got a little carried away when I saw it work so well, so I have a few people in that week's time frame that I really have to hope do 10 orders, because, I mean, whatever, I'll fill the orders however I have to. But even if you know that you're going to be able to extend that special the whole month, to promise them 700 is completely reasonable, because between the thank you award, 4 orders, and the extra 250, that's pretty much 700.
You did not want Kylie to be
so you really shouldn't. That would be a completely reasonable promise to make to get the dates filled. And as far as continuing forward, I'm super excited to get that planner from Belinda Ellsworth and use those checklists, because that has every day you doing some customer contacts and every day doing some booking reach outs. And when I know when that list is in front of me and my work day is, needs to consist of this, and this, then I'm going to do it. So super excited about that. And when I get that planner in, I'll definitely be sure to share it with you guys. So that in case you're on the fence about it, you'll see if you'll feel it's worth it. And I certainly plan to train the team on the behaviors that are in the planner, so that even people that aren't purchasing it will still benefit from my knowledge of having it. And I'll put it into lunch and learns and things like that. So, Phyllis, buy a planner. You did 2 shows this week.
I bought a planner this morning before I left home.
That's right. You did buy your own planner. Good.
Did you buy the planner the last time, Michelle?
What's that?
Did you buy the planner the last time we were with Mary Grace at the leaders training?
I did. But
this one, how did you like that one?
This planner has a lot more of the tasks and stuff in there. And I did not take much advantage of the one from last year as I should have, probably because I got it in June, and you know what I mean? So I didn't do what I should have done with it. So this year, between the webinar, the planner, like I got it going on. I'm ready. I'm so excited.
How much is the planner?
It is $48. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I think, similar in price to an Erin Condren planner, which a lot of people purchase. Definitely more than the one at Target that I've previously been using, but that is a calendar. There's a big difference between a calendar and a planner. This is a calendar with a built-in planner, meaning it's a business assistant. And I'm all for any help, with systems, because that is one thing that has always been my least strong point. So I'm getting on board after 19 years. I'm getting on board with any system that is already written, proven, whatever, and I'm doing that.
Sounds like a plan.
So just so important, I wanted to make sure that we rehashed the bookings and everybody was really able to assess your calendar. Like count up how many shows you have from after Christmas till the end of January. Because you need to have more than what you want to actually hold. January, you run into the snow messes up your show. There's just stuff that messes with your shows in January. And you want to make sure you have extra. Mary Grace, remember, is doing a couple of fun things right now. She's doing a raffle for all of us that submit shows during the dedication weeks. She's doing a raffle of a designer bag with money in it. I want to make sure that everybody saw that. So when you put 3 shows in, you can win. They get 3 entries into a raffle for a designer bag. And you've seen the bags. They're in her office. They're all like Michael Kors and really nice bags. And she's putting money in the bag. So someone is winning that. But you got to put shows in during the dedication weeks. She also asked that you send an invitation to her address. This is all in the Booking Blitz too. Send an invitation to each of your January shows with your name and your hostess name and everything on it. And she's going to do some special things where she either calls into the show or calls you or, whatever, and does some special fun extras. So make sure that you pop those in the mail to her as you're getting your January show dates solidified. And these are just all extra support things because the more shows that you're doing, the more people you're meeting. I'm so proud of Tamika. Tamika has been a top seller, not just in my organization, but the overall Mary Grace organization. She is up there these last few months. And we know that to make it in to the top 5 of the organization sales, that's where the real big honchos are. And she's like keeping track in there. But yet, what did she do the second week of December? Because we've been talking. She's been talking to Joy, who is her upline. She's been talking to me. I said, Tamika, you're out there meeting enough people. There's just a little something that maybe you're not saying, or, just a little tweak that needs to be made, because she wasn't recruiting not because she wasn't meeting enough people. She was meeting enough people. So I said, let's identify it. And sure enough, the second week of December, she submitted 2 qualified with $1,000 launches. So Tamika, tell us about those 2. Like, how did you get those 2? They were both hostesses, and you said one of them came out of left field at the last minute, like, oh my God, she wants to join. So tell us how you're more successfully sharing the business now.
The first one, Carla, was interested from a show that I was doing, and I did the Mary Maul Jenny jewelry presentation, which I like to do during the holidays. It resonated with her, and she spoke to me afterwards, and I said, well, everything starts with a show. She still wasn't quite sure, and I told her that everything starts with a show, and I said that all the time to everyone. And she said, okay. She was willing to have she couldn't have a party at her home because she just moved literally that week. And I rent a hall every month. So for her, it worked out great to have her party at the hall that I rent. And I call it the big party. So she was one of my big party hostesses. And her sales were about $400 or $500 at the time. And I told her that, my goal is 10 sales, $1,000, and at least 3 bookings. And that's for everybody, not just, that's hostesses, and especially for someone who wants to join the business. Sorry. So with that, she got a little discouraged for a second because the people, her family members who she thought would really support her, didn't. It actually was her coworkers and her friends. So that was an experience and a learning lesson there. But she was able to pull off 13 sales, $1,000 in sales, and we submitted the party as her starter party. And she has 2 parties. She has 2 parties coming up. So we're getting her ready for those, and she'll have more after that. My hostess from, unfortunately, I couldn't really get in on the Booking Blitz while the Booking Blitz was going on, but I did watch the videos because I had a party Monday, Tuesday, and so forth. But my party on Monday, was it Monday? Yes. My party on Monday, hostess from a while ago had canceled because her father passed. I called her up. She said, "Oh my goodness, you must have read my mind. I was just thinking about you." How about that? So we've rescheduled a party within 2 weeks, which was last Monday. She had about 7 sales. As a hostess, I want you to have 10 sales. Try to shoot for $1,000 and 3 bookings. My same thing for everybody. It's called Superstar Status. Anyway, and she went to go for that, and she got it. And I told her, I said, "You know what?" I said, she's like, I love the jewelry. I'm like, "You're getting $720 in free jewelry. You could get $1,700 if you wanted to." It was casual conversation. And she said, "Well, how can I do that?" I said, "Well, the business is already working for you. You have bookings, and you have qualified your business. If you submit it by Wednesday, you'll even get another $250, and it'll only cost you $229 for all of this jewelry, and you'll get most of it back next Tuesday." That's what I told her. And she said, "Wait a minute, let me understand." This is her exact word. "Wait a minute. If I understand you correctly, you just said," and she repeated it back to me. And I said, "That is exactly correct." She said, thank you for allowing me to walk into the no-brainer."
Love it.
I didn't expect her. I didn't. I actually have a starter show still open from a young lady that's struggling to get the 10 sales and $1,000 and all of that. She's the one I thought was going to join, and so I'm still working with her. She hasn't qualified her business. I'm not able to start her right away. So Denise came out of left field. Totally did not expect her. Totally did not. But I'm being consistent. I'm consistently saying the same thing to everyone. And some people get it, and I feel like some people need a little bit more coaching.
Now, were you having that conversation with hostesses prior every time, telling them the paycheck, telling them about the kit? Was that something that you've always done, or are you doing that more consistently now?
I think I'm doing it more consistently now, where I'm telling them what they're going to make, where they are right now.
Right.
I'm telling them what they're going to earn, as far this is what you're going to earn. This is what, continue to go for the goal of superstar status, which is, my hostess superstar status, 10 always at least 10 sales, $1,000 in sales, and at least 3 bookings for everybody. So I try to push that as much as possible, but I think the difference is really letting them know about the $1,000 in jewelry in a different way, really communicating it, and also really telling them how much they will earn on this party. One thing that you introduced me to was, and I still haven't done it exact way you do it, but you flip over the hostess form on the back and you kind of go through, here's what you earn as a hostess, but in addition to that, you could get, that kind of opens my eyes. So I kind of want to share that with everyone else about what you would get now if you join the business.
Right. And listen, if you're not doing it on the paper, but you're still communicating the same information, that's fine. So this makes me so happy that that you ran with this, because money talks. Money talks. And when you just flat out tell somebody, this is what you're going to earn, this is what you're going to receive, many people, it does become a no-brainer. I also love that you have standards, that, no, we can't put this in. You haven't qualified your business yet. 10 orders. Phyllis and I had this conversation during the week. She had somebody that wanted to join, but at the same time, like, barely had any sales and, really wasn't any shows booked. And I said, Phyllis, I would encourage you not to just give away your business. If you give her that show, that's a definite dead end now, because she's not going after those bookings where you will. She's not going to do that customer care, but you will. So if she doesn't have enough in her to at least qualify the business, then what makes you think, why would we think she's going to work after that? So sure enough, they had a nice, honest conversation, and she said, you know what, I think it would be better to just refer business to you. And the girl's not joining, and that's okay. Better to not join than create a dead end in your business. You're allowed to have standards. You're allowed to decide. And that's that. You the boss lady. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Can I just
Sure, go ahead, Phyllis.
can I tell you that having that conversation with her was something new for me as well, because she really wanted. We had $1,000 in sales, but they weren't her customers, and she realized that was one of the things that I had to make clear to her. She said, "But the party was $1,000." I said, "But you only had 2 guests. So what are you going to do for the next show? Because you're not going to do it." There were 2 hostesses, so she didn't do it. But when I feel like when you do the right thing happens. Because today Sylvia called and she qualified today, so I do have my 1 recruit already. So it's all about doing the right thing. I'm really proud of you, Tamika. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And you know what we're really seeing? This is the time of year that at the end of the year, just like all of us are like, what do we want for next year? What do we want for our business? People who are currently not running a business are having the same conversation with themselves. What do I want for next year? They're thinking about what 2019 is going to bring for them. So somebody like me would be saying, oh my gosh, my son is graduating high school. We got 4 super expensive years ahead of us. Where are we getting this money from? Sending a kid off to college isn't just the tuition. It's the stuff for the dorm, and it's it's an expensive time. And here we come in with, here's a paycheck for you. Here's how I would help you earn future paychecks. Don't forget about your past team members. Jennifer, tell everybody what happened to you last week with a former team member.
Okay, so I was out. I was not home. I was at a fundraiser for my other job, and Michelle texts me, and she's all, Michelle Sanders just signed up, and I said, like right now, or like 6 months ago? And she's all, no, like right now. And so, lo and behold, this past fashion director of mine that's been inactive for 6 months went onto her website and saw that it was expired. And so she, not only did she renew her website, she went ahead and signed up and picked out her presidential kit, and then found another $500 in orders and qualified last week in a matter of 2 days. Yes. I know. Can you even?
No.
Crazy.
I said, does she have sales? Jen's like, I have no idea. I said, okay, well, why don't you reach out? And then, like she said, 2 days later, here's another like 600 or 700 that went in.
And it did, I will say that it did take a little bit of coaching, because she's like, she didn't understand that she had to re-qualify again. And I'm like, well, don't worry. It's not that big a deal. You just need to find 5 people to take advantage of the $90 sale. Don't sweat it. If you've got people that are asking if you're still working, don't worry. It's not a big deal. Just tried to downplay it as much as possible. And, I think it goes back to this whole conversation of when somebody wants it, they're going to work for it, and they're going to find a way to make it work. And I just wanted to add too that Phyllis said this last week, and it really resonated with me. And now Tamika is saying it again. And that is to demand more from your hostesses, and, make them be your superstar hostesses. Don't settle with, 3 to 5 guests is okay. No, it's not okay.
It's okay, but
express to them that, obviously, if 3 to 5 is all we got, then we're going to take it. But if you are honest with them and encourage them that you're out to help them get the best that they can, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. So thank you, ladies, for just sharing that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I love it.
I use it as a suggestion. It's a suggestion to be a superstar status hostess. It's a suggestion. But we know what that means.
And you know what? And in the case of this former team member, this all was like Monday, and the end of the first 2 weeks was Wednesday. So I said to Jen, you know, if you feel it'll help, incentivize her in some way. How many impressions bracelet you have in your office? I said, offer her an impressions bracelet and let her know she'll get another $250 if she does it by Wednesday. And sure enough, there she goes. There she goes. So always think about what's already out there or what little thing you can do to incentivize someone. But what that really reminded me of as well is that former team members are also assessing their year. They're not, we're assessing it with each other. They're assessing it on their couch. And it's up to us to kind of look over. I would encourage you all to pull up your genealogy report and look over the whole list. And who are you like when you look over that list? There's always people where you're like, oh man, what happened with her? We had fun with her at convention last year and now she's not even selling anymore. Or, you know, she stopped selling because her, you know, fill in the blank. Her dad was sick. I wonder how he's doing and what's going on with that. That's on us to check in with those people. Because they may think you're mad. They may think they're not eligible. They may not realize they could get a whole brand new kit and have access to all the information. All of their customers will still be in that address book when they rejoin. And that we would love to get them restarted in January. And what better time for a new person? You know, they will understand best of all, extra $250, right? And that bonus items are coming at $60 instead of $90. So I would encourage you to look back at your team lists and dig up those people that you liked that faded out for some reason, even if it's from 2 years ago, but certainly from earlier this year and last year. You can probably recover a couple of people and have some fun conversations with that. And then on a related note, there's people in other businesses that right now are like, oh, this year wasn't what I wanted in my business. I wonder if I should make a change. And that change might be to us. So this is the time of year that I accepted the phone call to go on an interview. And lots of other people will too. I talked with my team last week about thinking of who you know that's in another business or was in another business that might want an interview. And Lori Mitchell is successfully getting some of them on the phone, and we are moving along with a couple of these leads. So if you think of people that you know that you might want to, you know, that you feel would benefit from a business with Park Lane, to send that information either to Mary Grace if you're direct to her, to me if you're in my group, if you're in Jennifer Bond's group, send it to her. And then I have when it's my team, and I know we all do the same thing. We have a conversation with Lori with any information that we know, and then Lori will get in touch with them. And then depending on their level, we proceed on. Sometimes she'll say, this is, you know, division level. The next step is for you to call her on this day or whatever. And then I take it from there, or Mary Grace or Jennifer. If it turns out they're super high in level, they'll proceed on from there and have Scott interview them, or she'll do the interview, or whatever the case may be. So this is a hot time to spend some time digging for some recommendation leads. And these leads build your paycheck, and they can help you along to the next level. Because remember, somebody who's the same level as you or higher than you, 50% of their team sales count towards your next promotion. So Tamika's an area. Her next level would be division, right? She needs 20,000 in 2 months. If she recommended somebody who came in at area or higher, and let's say she brought in a senior division, and that person's team went on, you know, was selling $20,000 in a month. 10,000 of that could be, you know, counted towards the 20,000 that she needs, and her team would only have to do 10 of the 20. If she brought in an area, and then those sales helped her promote to division, that area will now be on her team because she will be higher than that person. So and then those people's recruits will help you continue to maintain your Mercedes, to draw it back to why you're all on here. So these are all things that are related, and I just want to make sure that we take advantage of the time frame that we're in, which is that end of the year, people taking stock of their life, their situation, considering making changes, and being a solution for people that may want something else or want something new, whether they're experienced in sales or not. Any other, do you have any thoughts or questions or anything on anything that we just talked about? Do we feel good about what you've learned so far and where you're going with this particular program? Okay, good. Now, when we arranged this, we kind of agreed that it would go through tonight. So technically, this is like the last call of this if we were to do that. However, I'm certainly willing to continue on with this training if it's something that you would like to continue with. If you want to continue with it weekly, we can. If we want to go to every other week, we can. So what are some of your thoughts on that?
I'm open to continuing. I mean, I can take, it works for me because as our schedules are filling up, if you miss one call, at least you can get on another call. So this works for me.
Okay, good.
I agree.
Go ahead, Deb. Deborah, were you talking?
Yeah.
Go ahead. There's a weird echo suddenly. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was getting a lot of feedback.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's gone now, though. Go ahead.
Okay, this would be great to continue this.
Okay.
Weekly would be great for me.
Okay. And of course, the reality is that if weekly's too much and you can only come on every other, you can watch the playback or whatever. So, I mean, it's well attended, and I'm willing to continue because I already do the new people call on Tuesday nights for the most part. And Tuesday is kind of like my training day in general, and I'm kind of already in that groove, so I totally don't mind doing it. And even on a night like tonight, where I didn't have necessarily as much content, but we were able to do a bunch of idea sharing and hash out what was learned, I feel like all of that is super valuable as well, for myself included, not just, I learn on every call. Every call that I teach, I also learn. So. All right, so then we'll continue on. Of course, no one's chained to it or anything. So if you're like, yeah, these girls are crazy, I'm out, then it was then it was nice working with you.
This Tuesday coming up is Christmas.
Well, certainly it's not this Tuesday. We'll be resuming. It would really resume in January. We'd be having a 2-week break, because next Tuesday is Christmas, and then the Tuesday after that is actually New Year's Day. New Year's Day night. I don't know. What do you think? Is that too much? We want to pick it up after that on the 8th?
Yeah.
The 8th?
That sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have Belinda Ellsworth on the 2nd anyway, so we'll all be training that night. And then we'll continue. So these calls will resume then on the 8th.
Okay.
But we can certainly use this. Oh my God, that's terrible again. We can certainly use the page to support idea share and stuff as well. I know we do a lot of that. Great. Okay, well, now that we're all having an auditory seizure, oh, it stopped now. Okay, good. So, if for those of you that I don't see or talk to before next week that celebrate Christmas, have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Enjoy. Sorry, Tamika, go ahead.
I'd like to talk to you about somebody else in another company.
Great.
That was trying to recruit me.
Oh, well, guess what, girl? Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. We can talk about that after we hang up.
Okay.
in fact, let me stop the record. So anyway, for recording purposes, this call will resume January 8th.